There's a place people around here don't talk about much. They call it the Hollow. It's not something you'll find on any map. It doesn't work like that. It finds you. A stretch of road that pulls you in, loops you, traps you. Where nothing you see is real, and everything that finds you doesn't let go. The old-timers say there's one way to know you're inside it when something strange keeps happening, again and again. That's when you know you're already in. Trisha sent me this story. It happened to her father. He came home sick one night and told her everything, so I'm going to tell it the way he lived it. My name is Gary. I'd been a driver for over 20 years, state government. I drove for a senior official, Mr. Henderson, out of Clarksville, Tennessee. The job took me everywhere, highways, back roads, mountain passes. Weeks went by where I didn't see my own home. Back then, there was no GPS, no phone, just the road, and whatever you trusted more than IT. It was late fall. I dropped Mr. Henderson off at his family home up in the mountains. Long drive back, around 150 miles. When I got there, his mother had just returned from a church pilgrimage, one of those old places deep in the mountains people believe in. The moment I stepped inside, she pressed something into my hand, a small prayer card. Before I could even react, she tied a thin bracelet around my wrist and said it was blessed. I smiled, thanked her, but my mind was already on the road, the distance, the time I was losing. I ate something, had coffee, and when I got up to leave, she stopped me again. She pressed a folded paper into my hand and said, "Keep this in the car, somewhere you can see IT." I didn't even look at it, just slipped it into my jacket and left. I filled the tank at the first station I saw, and then everything started going wrong. A few miles in flat tire, almost an hour gone. Got back on the road, kept driving, then traffic, completely locked, accident up ahead. 30 minutes, maybe more. Didn't move. It was getting dark now, and cold, the kind that gets under your skin. Eventually, the line started moving. I passed the accident without looking. A little further ahead, I saw a few locals by the roadside. I rolled the window down. "How bad is it ahead?" One of them shook his head. "Long wait." I asked about another route. They said no. Then a kid came jogging back toward me, 14, maybe 15. "There's a dirt road," he said. "Cuts around. Longer, but you'll get through." I looked ahead at the endless line of red brake lights, then back at him. Sat there for a moment, and then I turned off. The dirt road swallowed my headlights almost instantly. Trees on both sides. A few houses passed with dim lights in the windows, and then nothing. No lights, no signs, just the road and the dark. I drove for a while, then stopped, got out, listened. Nothing, no wind, no insects, just silence. Then, behind me, a cough. I turned. An old man stepped out from the trees, flannel shirt, suspenders, calm eyes. Too calm. "Where are you headed?" he asked. I told him. He looked at me for a long moment, then said quietly, "Road's no good tonight. Turn back." I shook my head. "I'll be fine." He didn't argue, just stood there, watching. I got back in the car and kept driving. The fog rolled in fast, thick, pressing against the windshield like something alive. I slowed down, could barely see ahead. Then bang. Something hit the car, hard. The engine died. Headlights, out. Dark, complete dark. I sat there, heart pounding, then stepped out. I walked to the front of the car, and I saw him, a small boy, lying in the road. I ran, dropped to my knees, reached for him. Gone. I froze, looked around. Nothing. Then I heard it. A woman, humming. Soft, somewhere in the trees. And then the boy, running across the road, into the dark. Gone. I got back in the car, hands shaking. Started the engine. Somehow it worked. I drove. Then bang. Something hit the roof. The headlights flickered back on, and there she was, on the road, walking toward me. I swerved, took another turn, drove faster, but the road kept bending back. Same trees, same dark. The boy again, running. The woman again, closer. I slowed down. She stepped right in front of the car, didn't move, just stood there, looking at me. I looked back. Her face, deep wrinkles and pale skin, eyes too wide, too forward. Skin yellow, stained red. She was humming, slowly, and she was smiling. The engine died again. The air turned heavy. My chest tightened. I couldn't breathe right. I rolled the window down, and then I felt it. Something behind M.E. I didn't turn. I couldn't. But I looked in the mirror. She was there, in the back seat. White nightgown, hair loose, tangled. That face right behind M.E. Smiling. I couldn't move, couldn't speak. My body just locked. And then something inside me broke, and I started praying. Didn't think, didn't choose words. Just prayed, over and over. The humming stopped. Silence. Then, nothing. When I woke up, I was lying on a cot, somewhere warm. The old man was sitting beside me. "You made it," he said. He told me about the road that Stretch pulls people in, loops them, doesn't let go. They call it the Hollow. He told me about her. She had a husband once, good man. Went into those woods one winter, never came back. After that, she changed. Then her son disappeared. She went in after him, never came out. They found her body later, but she never left. Still there, still searching, still calling. The old man looked at my jacket. "What's in there?" I reached in, pulled out the folded paper, and opened IT. A prayer card, the Virgin Mary. I just stared at IT. I had never even looked at it before. He nodded. "That's why you're alive." A few days later, I was back on my feet. I framed that card and placed it on the dashboard, right where she told me to. And when I could finally drive again, I went back to that mountain chapel, sat there in silence for a long time. They say, when you call out from somewhere real inside you, you're heard. I believe that now.